To show you about unit testing in Angular. So basically unit testing is a type of technique where individual units of or component of a application are tested to make sure that they are working perfectly. Unit tests are typically automation tests written and run by software developer. Generally who are developing the application, they will go for the unit testing during the coding phase to test standalone modules of the application. So we will test here the functional correctness. Then unit test can be a method or function, procedure, module or object. It may be a pipe, Angular pipe or Angular service. So any type of object in Angular application we can test using unit test. So how will test unit test? So this is there are two applications. One is Jasmine and Karma. So when you are creating an Angular application, by default these two packages are installed through this CLI. Okay. So here Jasmine, what it does, it supports the testing the JavaScript codes. JavaScript codes means any component, module or pipes, services that are the JavaScript code. That is supported by Jasmine. You can write code using Jasmine to test these individual modules or individual units. Karma is just to run that code written in Jasmine. So we will go for a application example how it is running. Here I created one folder utest1. So utest1. So I am going to create an application in Angular. JS command prompt. And here I will copy this path. I am here now in the Node.js command prompt, so I will write here ng new. Suppose I will write here utest. Enter. This will create one basic application. So I am not going to create any routing. CSS is okay. So here all the required packages will be installed by the CLI. Now the packages are installed and I change the directory to utest. Here I am opening the VS Code by writing this code space dot. VS Code will open here. Okay, so application open with VS Code. We will go to the source app. So by default they have given the components.spec.ts. So this is the test file. So currently for understanding I will remove all these contents here. So whatever required I will tell you. It is from the beginning. Now I cleared all the content. So I will write a first test here, just like your hello world application. So I will write here it should test hello world. So here one comma, then function symbol, let, or I can write here name equal to expect x okay. So I saved it. So how I will run it? I will go here, so I will go here, then terminal. In the terminal I will write here ng test, enter. So it will run the test. This test file will be run here. Okay, see here, the test is passed now. All are green. Should test hello world. So I have written this description. Should test hello world. So if you will make it hello world, then expect this. Suppose I will write here 1 hello world space 1, and I will save it. Then you will see there will be error. 1 failed. Okay, what it is saying? Hello world, expected hello world, but it is getting hello world 1. So this is the basic test I am telling you. So we will go for more complicated test. For example, suppose I will write here constant x equal to suppose 5, and then I will expect x equal to 5. I will save it. Should test equality. Suppose I will write here equality. Okay, so I am saving this. So this test is passed. Should test equality. So test is passed. 5 equal to x is equal to 5. Suppose I will write here 6 and save it. There will be error. So it is expecting 5, but it is equaling to 6. So there is a error. Even if you will see here, it is saying same thing. Okay, expected 5, but it equals 6. So these are the basic idea about to test. Suppose I will write here expect x plus 1, then it will pass. Go here. So test equality. 0 failure. Okay, so this is the basic test. So we will go for some deeper. So in Angular unit test, this is the structure how we will write the test cases. So this leaf of the tree, it. So these are the test cases. For example, see here, it should do this, it should do this. So we can write many number of its one by one. For example, I will see here, I copied this and paste here. So should test inequality, suppose inequality. So I will write here suppose 8. So it is test, it will test inequality. So not, I will write here not to equal this. So if I will save it and I will go to here, it is saying that should test inequality. So it is saying I am testing that x plus 1 is not equal to 8. So there are, if you see here, there are many it. So here, and we will go for before each. So describe before it, everything is there. Okay, so I will show you one by one. So describe, what is describe? Describe is a function that takes two parameters, and this describe contain many it functions. So I'll write here. So describe is just to describe what the test is about. So I'll write describe. So describe will contain many it statement, means many test cases. So I'll write here comma, then a function, okay, and this should go inside the describe. Okay, so what it is saying, so I will go for Alt Shift F, so it is indenting properly. So it is saying that test numbers, so it is testing numbers only up to here. So it is about testing numbers. So there are many test cases here. So you can just read this definition. Okay, so describe means we have to describe what the unit test is for, and it is a function which takes two parameters. One is some description string and another is a function which contain many test cases. Okay, so for example, you see here app component test goes here. So some app component, we can write anything here. So should equal and not equal. Okay, so these are the test cases. So we'll go deeper in future and see here what is the use of before each. Okay, so before each means before each of the test cases. Suppose there are 3 test cases. Before each of the test cases are processed, it will initialize x to 7. So I will write here let suppose x is equal to 8. Then before each I will do one thing. Let s is equal to 8. Before each we will do some initialization, and I will write here x is equal to suppose x plus 2. X is equal to x plus 2, and I will remove x from here. Both cases I am using x, but I will remove x now because I have set x here. Okay, so if x is equal to 8 and x is setting to x plus 2, so it will be 10. Now we can write here 10 or 11. 10 plus 1 is equal to 11. Then it will run. Here we can write anything because 10 plus 1 is not equal to 8 anyway. So I will save it. So both are successful. See, and you will see here should test equality, should test inequality. Okay, so before each you will see the use of before each. So before each I can set everything and it will be used in all the possible test cases inside it. Let's test the component. For example, here is the app component. Suppose I have a title here. Okay, suppose u test is here. So I will go to test that whether title is u test or not. So I will go here and in the describe I will write test component, app component, and here okay, currently app component has one variable and one method. So we are going to test it here. So test app component. So we create one variable comp of type app component, and before each means before each of the test cases is run, before each we will create a new instance of our component for testing. So we will go to write test cases here. So I have written here two test cases. It should have title and com.title equal to utest. So you see here utest. Suppose I will make it utest dot dot and save it, and I will save here also. It will give one failure. So what is the failure? It will say here, saying that it expected this, but it is giving utest because component has this one. So if I will go here and make it dot dot, then the test will pass. Two successes are there, so test is passing. Similarly, two numbers are here, so if they are returning x plus y, so here I write here should add two numbers, expect com dot add 2. So if I will just give dot, I will get both property and methods. So it is equal to 7. Okay, so this way we can test it. Similarly, after each, we can write after each also here. So after each, suppose I want to write after each test case is run, I will write com.title equal to blank. Okay, so it will run now. So there are two successes. So this way we can test the variable and methods of the component. Please like and subscribe this channel if you got a fundamental knowledge on unit test of Angular.